The Beauty of Mexico. In this Bernie Chats with Claude Duke, we'll discuss Mexico and the Beauty of Mexico film and book project. Let's get started. So we're being joined by Claude Duke today. Claude is a photographer and a film producer. So I'd like to know a little bit more about the book and the film. So can you walk me through a little bit of the project in Mexico?
Okay. Well, thank you, Bernie. My latest project is thebeautyofmexico.com. I'm trying to show a cultural aspect of Mexico. I'm trying to show the plastic arts and the performing arts, cultural landscapes, ecology, the food. So this will be a 600-page book.
Okay.
Also, is going to be a video on demand.
Video on demand, you mean streaming video like Netflix or something?
Yeah. And right now we are planning a 5-month tour. Mostly we'll be going to the 32 states, getting all these themes that I told you, because North America, it has one picture of Mexico: the drugs or the immigration or the all-inclusive. But that is not Mexico. You see, it just, Mexico is an incredible culture who comes for centuries that we don't know about. Yeah. You see, and that is what I'm trying to give glimpses for the people go and discover themselves. And mostly it is fascinating what I've been discovering in 2 trips and see their people. For example, I went to Oaxaca in my first trip to a dance festival. It was fascinating to look at the eyes of the people, so humble, but so rich inside. 32 different municipalities of Oaxaca who comes down to show the dances. And nice. The garments are out of this world, made by hand. You know, the dances. Another thing that I was like with jaw dropping, the technology, the sound system, the venue. 18,000 people venue who started in a square. Now it is a full state-of-the-art venue.
Nice.
You know, the sound and the orchestra sounds like it. Unbelievable. Oaxaca really is in a zone of earthquakes. All the speakers, lights, everything is hanging from the ceiling. Really, but it's just, it is, believe me, I recommend everybody. The La Guelaguetza is done on the 3rd and 4th Monday of July.
Okay, that's good to know. I want to just unpack a little bit what you said about that ecological park. What is it called and where is it?
It is Agia Sofia with an H at the beginning. Agia Sofia.
Okay.
Point Mex. And it is absolutely fantastic. This guy reforests with exotic flowers, birds, special birds, you know, but it's amazing. It's around an hour from the city of Oaxaca. And let me tell you, the owner is a guy who is just a visionary. You get inspired just to talk with him, that this is a special person who really dedicated to improve the world, because he's helping the ecology by doing something absolutely fantastic. And it's, you know, mostly Oaxaca, it is very condensed. It's very condensed, you know, it's just very beautiful. Mostly the beaches of Oaxaca is just absolutely fantastic. Yes. So that is what is moves me to show to North America. And right now we are just accomplished almost 160 pages of the book. And awesome. It's going to be a little book. I've been discovering things in Mexico, for example, like in Guerrero, which is Acapulco. Okay, Acapulco. Yeah, okay, it's a resort. My God. You know, right now we have making a full itinerary about the 32 states with one of my collaborators, Leopoldo Sanchez. And we have been going day by day, hour by hour, you know, what I want to do, what I want to visit, the 20 talents that we got to discover by states. And believe me, I thought we were to stay 4 days. We had to stay 9 because they're so spectacular, but it's spectacular, Bernie. It's just an ecology, all the fauna, all the things, cultural things. I discovered in a little town in Guerrero, which is fantastic, fashion designer. Just to make one dress take 4 months to do the dresses, entirely made handmade.
Wow.
It is a Pandora box, believe me. Just no matter where you go, to the left, you go to the right, and mostly our itinerary, we're trying to save time just to be so logical how we're going with this bus, and because we gotta save time. We had a half an hour shootings, and that's it.
Right.
Interviews could be 2 hours, maybe.
So, Claude, what is the process then? You have a massive country in Mexico, 32 states, all kinds of topics, several hundred years of history, all kinds of attractions, all kinds of people. How do you distill that and narrow it down? How do you prioritize what you're going to do, or do you just try and capture everything? Do you have a method or a process you use for saying, okay, this is how I'm going to reduce the content to make it digestible?
Yeah, well, that is a process, that we have done it already with these first 2 trips.
Okay.
And mostly already pre-selected all the restaurants, very important to have a look, just because here in North America, what we know about Mexican food is fast food in Mexico.
Right.
But the cuisine is a different story. The chef are incredible artists. Those people prepare food. Sure. It's just that, and mostly you're starting to. It reminds me, when I did my first video about La Guantanamera in Cuba, I had 28 minutes as my best raw footage. That was this got to be inside. It was a suffering to arrive to 5 and
sure.
to put the best of the best in those 5 minutes of the song. The same thing here. You do it in what is the most valuable according to my experience. What is the best, thing like to put together, and that is it is very important to have policies that we're trying to be different. For example, like let's say, for example, this page here is a drone picture. It's a drone picture of a lake, which is a cenote in Quintana Roo.
Hold it up to the camera. What is that? A crater?
It looks like a crater, but it's a lake.
Wow.
So the thing is, when you are eye level with the lake, you don't see nothing. It's a lake.
Right.
But the drone, when we fly the drone, we discover that in the middle is a big hole. You see?
Oh,
that big hole.
So is that
mostly,
Claude, is that full of like clear water, or is that right? Wow.
Yeah, clear water.
Totally clear.
There is they say in Mexico once a big meteor hit Quintana Roo. The province, where Cancun is. The earthquake created an entire underwater tunnels across Quintana Roo. So all that created cenotes. Cenotes is where people go and swim, and mostly they are sinkholes. They're all sinkholes, and that's what you find. There, believe me, the waters in some of them is a crystal turquoise.
Wow.
And going back to my point, how you select. And mostly, for example, like the restaurants. For example, for us, what is the most important? For example, like in Yucatan, which is just, for example, like here we have a shot from flamingos that we went to a little ecological center where we find a band of flamingos, and also Yucatan. It was the cradle of the Mayan culture. So you find so many things that, the Maya in the south of Mexico, it is, I've been even universities who have language integration, they go to university using Mayan language with Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So So the thing is, you have to really sacrifice a lot of content that you really love. We're trying to be very selective in people who will be able to just go, oh, wow, we got to go and see that. It's like the same thing. You have a 300 picture photo shoot and you have to pick one.
Yeah, that's an elimination process that can be gut wrenching.
Oh yeah, but the thing is believe me, it's so much fun. You know, it just for me is showing up to Mexicans and mostly say, "What do you think of the book? What's your feedback?"
Mm-hmm.
It mostly an answer that I have almost 90%. I never knew that this existed in my country.
Right.
All of a sudden, we are learning from you.
So you're showing Mexico to Mexicans.
Incredibly, it
Yeah, that
mostly
is incredible.
and it's just because sometimes, like it happened to me, I live in Santiago 20 years of my life, but I never went anywhere, and
Right.
I went to straight to Miami. The same thing happened to many Mexicans as well. They live in Guanajuato. In Guanajuato, they went to the United States,
Mm-hmm.
but they never knew the rest. So the thing is, this is a book who will show to Mexicans alike and to people around the world what is Mexico about. There is not the negativity, you
Mm-hmm.
see, because the media show us the negativity. You
Yes.
see, it's just the painters, the people, how they think, how they process. I discovered also a muralist. It's a big movement out of graffiti murals. So I discovered this guy who
Closer.
is the
I see. Wow, that's beautiful. Colorful.
and he mostly and he has a work here in Vancouver, here in Maine and Second. And
Oh, okay.
his name is Irving Cano, who was the one. I said, I love the heart that you have from your work. I really love to have a copy of that shirt. So it was so difficult because his was made by hand. So what I did, I asked for the permission, and mostly I digitized it, and right now is the branding of the heart, the Mexican heart for the beauty of Mexico.
All right. Good. And so you have a website called thebeautyofmexico.com. You have
Yeah.
a prototype book, I'm assuming. It's not published yet, right?
No. This is what 160 pages.
And so
Yeah.
the book that you're envisioning as the final product, it's going to be 600 pages. Is it one
Yeah.
book or is it going to be a series?
It sounds like a easier to sell by one, but mostly when you do, imagine if you got it in 3 or got it in 4 or got it in 6, one is going to sell more than the other. So it's better off, sometimes to create just one. The first idea was to do the South. Everybody said, oh, do the South. Don't do the North. No. Do the South. So all of a sudden, I started to get more associates in the project. Says, oh, you're going to leave the central Mexico? Are you crazy? You're going to leave Jalisco outside? You're going to leave this outside?
Guanajuato and Leon. And...
mostly you're going to leave, Aguascalientes. You're going to leave Aguascalientes out of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put all those central Mexico. And all of a sudden, another associate, he says, if you have 9 more states, why don't you do everything? Correct. Because the problem is to leave some people outside, and mostly I don't want to start stepping out on people's toes and why you leave us? No, we're coming back.
Have you thought about offering it as a set of 3 books? So you don't buy one, you buy all 3 at a time.
Yeah, the same. Yeah. It is because you see the cost of a book like this right now. This book is made in Taiwan.
Right.
Not even in Mexico, they can beat the price that I have.
Right.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, because of course,
so the price that I
keep the
have,
price down so that consumers can afford it.
exactly.
Make it
And
available.
mostly it just so the thing is, pricing is everything. Believe me, pricing is everything. I really love to have a bigger book and bigger size. We see better the pictures, but the thing is, price is everything. The only problem there is because it's a table book, it's just, it's going to be a little heavy. But the thing is, there is books like that. It's just, and mostly this will appeal to so many Mexicans around the world. And I know so many here, for example, in Victoria, there are so many people. They are fans of Mexico who go vacationing in Jalisco, in Cancun, or go to San Miguel de Allende. There are many fans of Mexico. So the thing is, it's going to be a very interesting result. How many groups you're addressing at this point? First of all, the Mexicans alike who are. Do you know there is 150,000 Mexicans in Paris?
Oh, who would think?
There's 100. They have two groups in Paris. Mm-hmm. They have two titles. 250,000 Mexicans in Paris.
Huh. Right.
Could you imagine a sentimental value that this book will have?
Well, Mexico is a big country, and it's big. It's also big by population too, because it's the largest Spanish-speaking country in the world. 120 or so million? 120 million?
No, 160. 160.
That many? Wow. So yeah, it's the largest Spanish country in the world, and Brazil has about 200. Well, I think it's about 200 million, somewhere on there. There's an informal count in Brazil too, right? Brazil is the, I think, 4th or 5th most populated country in the world. But anyway, that's off topic. Yeah. So what steps do you have to take now to produce the book and put it on the bookstore shelves? What is your plan there? What needs to be done?
Well, right now I have a book deal by the Larousse editorial in Mexico City.
Larousse being one of the largest publishers out of France.
Yeah. Yeah. And mostly they saw the book, they saw the sample, and automatically it was something automatic. Wow. And they said, well, you have a book deal. We will distribute it for you as soon as you finish it. Mm-hmm. But you got to finish it.
So I gather from that, the thing is, they're not advancing you any funding for completing the book.
It is so particular. Believe me, I've been seeing a small movie production for $3 million. Myself, right now in $650,000 to do this tour with a group of 12 people around Mexico.
So
it's not expensive.
Let me dive into that a little bit. You have collaborators, as you put it. I saw the video you put out a couple of weeks ago introducing your team and giving some credit and some attention to your team, which was very nicely done, actually. Very nice to see you talking about your collaborators, the writers, the photographers, the drone operators, the editors. So you have that team together, and now you're talking about $650,000. Is that to produce the book, or is that to produce the film that you had talked about?
Just to produce. Right now, my two goals are, one, to finish the book, and second, to produce the pilot for television, which will allow me to edit. What I will do in this trip, I will film the raw footage about everything. The following step is to edit it and put it for television for VOD, which will be another couple of years doing it. The first idea about this kind of productions, if I go with my camera, I can have a cameraman with me, you see? So he's shooting exactly the same with me. So the videos, it will be the moving factor of this idea. Mm-hmm. And mostly the drones, it will be the most spectacular thing that you'll be able to get from the top, and where you can get it from the air is what is the most important thing with those aerials, you see? And mostly you have to go with people who are blending with each other.
Right.
We want to spend.
You need a cohesive team that can complement each other.
Yeah. Exactly. Because some people could be very talented, but you cannot stand them.
All met them.
You cannot stand them. Just who is this guy? It's just no, believe me, it's just your recommendation. With your casting, Wanda Santilla, for example, extraordinary writer, extraordinary. And mostly I know that she will She will write things that I will say, that I will narrate, and it will be totally spectacular. She got such a flavor. On top of that, she's a fan of Mexico.
She's a huge fan of
So
Mexico.
when you are inspired already, when you're already inspired and you want to do this, could you imagine when we were describing it? Because we're not just describing it, we are inspiring. This is my goal, is inspire others to go to Mexico and see what they are. It's just again, Mexico is not the drugs, neither the immigration. It is the rest of the culture that you'll see in their food and in their paintings and their dances. And there's so much to see. And sometimes some advertising, they just selling specific spot. But this will try to show a little bit more than this, that specific spot.
It sounds like there's two sides to it. There's educating people to have a better understanding about Mexico, and then inspiring people to actually go to Mexico and enjoy the culture and everything it has to offer.
Exactly. For me, it is a mission right now. It is a complete mission. Once they say in my school back in the days is, you guys, they have a mission in life. You are destined to do something that it will be great, and mostly that you fulfill yourself. You won't have a clock to drive your life, but you will find a mission to help others. And all of a sudden, at this time in my life, I'm doing it.
It's very inspiring to see the amount of work, the amount of detail, the scope of the project. So good for you.
Oh, thank you.
Claude, can you describe a little bit, just give me an idea in a few words of you have the vision for the book, it's 600 pages, and then you have the vision for the film, a documentary about Mexico and all of its 32 states, right? What percentage of the project is completed? How close are you to finishing the book, and where are you at in the film production?
We have covered 6 states, and we got to go to 32. And also in those 6 states, I had to come back to complete areas that I didn't finish because I got to follow my pattern, ecology. The film thing is the same thing. For example, like when you have projects like this, you have to have the tools, the proper tools to be accepted by the platforms, by Netflix, Hulu, Apple, whatever. You have to do it with a certain amount of tools that are compatible with the industry. My first 2 trips, I did it with my money that I earned in my commercial as an actor. 2 people, my drone guy and myself. That's it. Okay, you have to have these new grade and cameras like the FXN9 and for video, or if you are shooting with red cameras. And most of the time with red cameras, you're talking few thousands. Netflix and the rest of the people in television in general wants to see like a movie.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going back to do it again.
Cinema quality is really the key thing.
If you have cinema quality, you are in the ballgame. I know that a lot of small successes, they're done with black and white, with an XLR camera, but that is not the game today. It's just if you see any documentary in television, they're all done with full frame sensor cameras.
Claude, how do you feel about your ability to produce that cinema quality that the platforms are looking for?
Oh yeah. Just I found a camera which is $22,000.
Okay.
Which is the FX9, Sony FX9.
Right.
Amazing camera. Very simple too. You arrive in the place, put it, click, 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 done. And the quality is incredible. And that is one of the list of cameras that is accepted by Netflix. There's a list of cameras they tell you.
Is there?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have some of that footage shot now, or do you have to start shooting from scratch?
No, the one that I did, for example, with my drone, those are staying. Some small productions, I have to reshoot it again. We went already to Cannes festivals around 2 years ago. My quality, it wasn't there. You see? So the thing is, it's not because they didn't like for example, right now in my website, I have 4 trailers. Everybody loves the trailers. Another thing, some people, they love to see stars. people who you recognize, actors who will be able to just be, they love to see, oh, who is this guy? The program is how we're going to do for television. We're doing an hour in which ecology and landscape is 10 minutes, ecology is 8 minutes, food 8 minutes, arts 8 minutes, and dancing 10 minutes to get 42 minutes for television for each province.
Right.
So the thing is, I have, for example, for ecology, Osmel Francis, which is an ecologist from Mexico, who will be showing a very colorful guy, very entertaining. He will showing ecology and special things like the archaeology and stuff like that to make it more entertaining. We got to be entertaining. We got to be funny. We got to be entertaining, inspiring. I have a chef from Mexico also who will present all these different restaurants. The program is not presented all by me. I'm the host. Mm-hmm. And then we have this curator in Mexico, this lady who is the top curator in Mexico, mm-hmm. which will present all the artists. And also I have Jorge Negrete, which is the son of Jorge Negrete, a legend in Mexico, presenting all the artists.
Oh, great. Those sound like some great names involved.
So the thing is, I have names there. It will be fun as an entertainer as well. It's got to be fun. It got to be colorful. Yeah. It got to move you. You saw the 6-minute video that I just did. Everybody says, how do you like the video? Oh, yeah, I like it. You didn't find too long? What? No. You see, it was so entertaining that you didn't realize it was 6 minutes.
Like the director I work with currently, we talk to clients about producing their videos and they ask what the right length of video is. And we talk to them about, well, if you're going to a movie and it's a bad movie, how long should it be? And if you're going to a movie and it's a good movie, how long do you want it to be? You don't want it to end.
Yeah.
Seinfeld and Rogan, they prove that long form content is actually working online. So Claude, when you think of your project, what do you need to get you through to completion on the book and on the film? What obstacles are you running into that you didn't anticipate?
Well, first of all, it's funding. We'll be able to pay almost $90,000 improvement for the equipment. The $650,000 that I need is divided in several things. Also, we're trying to get all the states in Mexico to have an exchange for services, to host us with hotels. Mm-hmm. You see, and the rest is, it's a lot of, for example, like in order you to enter to an archaeological site in Mexico, we have to pay $1,200 per site, and we're going to 10. So the thing is the funding. It's the funding that what we need. The rest is all organized. We're right. I think we are in 18 states already planned, mm-hmm. A to Z, with maps. Nice. In the itinerary. So we have been working our butt off just to get all the details. Because if we have from here everything planned, in the road you are. For example, we need the sponsorship for the bus. I just found a bus in Mexico, which is like an office where you can keep doing post production.
It looked gorgeous. It made me jealous. Really like,
yeah, it is. Believe me, because in Mexico, you'll be able to spend, for example, like going from Yucatan, from Merida to Chiapas, 12 hours bus trip.
Yeah, it's a big country.
12 hours. So the thing is, it's a really long stretch. We're not going to do such a long stretch because we're going jumping subsequently to all the states all around. Mm-hmm. But traveling will help us to keep working on post-production and working with the 12 people, 10 people who want to be there, with Wanda, with, the editors, everybody collaborate. Everything is faster. When you do here, everything is slower. It's like a 90 to 10.
Well, I think one of the big advantages too is if you're doing post-production as you're going along, then you're tuning into anything that could be improved at the same time. Camera angles, lighting, dialogue as far as interviewing, all those sorts of things can be refined as you go along. And you're not going to be in a situation where you come back to Canada, you do post-production, you go, oh, geez, why didn't we think about, getting aerial drones of the rivers in every city or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. It's just believe me, it is it is we're working, we'll be working before we go. We'll be working almost in a 30-day advance
Yep.
notice. Right now, I have an associated producer in Mexico City
Yep.
who is taking inventory in MailChimp of all the addresses and phone numbers of everybody involved.
Oh.
720 people
that are involved in this project.
Yes.
Wow. Is my name in there?
It is.
No, that's amazing.
It is. Believe me, the organization. If we have, for example, sometimes you is to be after. For example, like the chef. Okay, are you going to be there? Okay, tomorrow, in 3 days from now, we are there. Okay,
wow.
and the day of the shooting, the chef goes there to check everything that is ready to go when we arrive. Turn on the lights, shoot.
Wow, that's amazing.
That work, believe me, it is the most intensive part. But if you have it down path with all the information, with ground people talking to people all the time, and right now it's just we're in the big round. Lady who used to work for Puebla Ministries, tourism ministries in Puebla, is helping us, talking to all the ministries in Mexico.
Wow, that's awesome.
See who can help, because the other situation is the permits, to get all the permits. Yes. If you arrive to a site in Mexico, and you want to fly a drone and you don't have a permit, they shut you down.
Okay.
Like it happened to me. I was just in the Monument of the Freedom in Mexico City, but we arrived 1 day late because we have a problem with the rent-a-car. We fly the drone, and all of a sudden show up a policeman asking me, "Do you have your permit?" Sure, there's your permit. So the thing is sometimes they don't let you. If you're not there when you say you were supposed to be, they don't let you. So, so the thing is, you go into a lot of funny situations, but it is the organization down path. If you have everybody, you have a crew helping you, not like I did with my drone guy and myself. And believe me, it was a little struggle just to accomplish what we did in 160 pages.
Wow.
But it is the process.
I know from the planning charts that you did show me, I was quite impressed. You seem like a very meticulous planner, and having those logistics down is very key, because you can't be fumbling around when you're at these places. You have to know what you're doing, get it done, do it well, and then leave, right? And get to the next place. Makes sense.
And also have a good time.
Also
have a good time.
Of course.
Enjoy it.
It's a lifestyle too, right? And if you're organized, you can enjoy it. But if you're worried about everything falling apart, then it's another story, right? So that's great.
Yeah, mostly, and it's just that also, we have a great insurance. If we have any inconvenience in the road, we because of the amount of the insurance, we get paid for not shooting that day.
Oh, okay, that's great. So you have insurance for that.
Called the production insurance.
Wow, that's fabulous. I wasn't aware of that, and I'm sure a lot of people listening who are perhaps dabbling in film production might not be aware of that too. So that's really good to know.
Oh yeah, the film production. Oh, you don't go without it. It's just, it's just a thing, because insure the life, the crew, your equipment has to be fully insured, and so on. So the thing is, it's just we gotta go sort of a kind of having an elite way and everything. But it's just, we're trying to make it as enjoyable possible. Have an incredible time meeting all those people. It's so interesting for me to discover, a sculpture in silver, like I did in Guanajuato. Such a life behind their craft. It's just another sculpture in Yucatan, the same thing. A guy who is in a sculpture in Yucatan. And mostly her grandmother has almost like a little palace, a modern palace, and it's full of his artwork inside of the house. It was so cool. You,
Wow.
you go to the grandma's house, and mostly is all his work is there. We shoot, we put like a 6 example in the book,
Uh-huh.
and all was done in his grandmother's house.
Oh, nice. So, Claude, in wrapping up, um, would it be fair to say what you need to continue the project right now, continue and complete? $650,000 in funding you're looking for,
Yep.
right? You're looking for sponsorship in kind, i.e., hotel rooms and help along the way in that way, meals, things like that that people can sponsor. And then the other part is you're looking for local support in the form of municipal licensing and things like that in Mexico. So
Yes.
government support, sponsorship in kind, and $650,000 is what you're looking for to complete the documentary film and the book,
Yep.
right? Makes sense. I think you mentioned you had sponsorship packages available for people that would like to support your project, The Beauty of Mexico.
In the sponsorship, that people will receive something from me. I don't want to extend my hand and don't get nothing in return.
Right.
Besides the exposure that the project will have, we have created the exchange for books. For example, if you want to donate any amount of money towards the idea, I will give them a book, which is worth $40 US.
Okay.
So also for companies, we have created another level for a personalized copy of the book, which they have 12 pages in the front, and mostly they will put any content they may like, but it has to be 500 books, in which that will say there will be $20,000 US. It's not for everybody, but the thing is, it's just if anybody, for example, like we discover a company in Mexico lately, so they will send all these 500 books to travel agents all over the world, mostly to give them something in return, something that they can have. The book will have the same content, but they will have in front, they will have 12 pages, whatever they like to put on it.
I see. And you can help them with the photography and anything they want to do. Obviously, they could have photography of their building, or if they happen to be doing business in Mexico, that so there's a relatability there. That's great.
We're trying to create a week in the major attractions, let's say like Mexico City, could be Puerto Vallarta, could be Baja, could be Cancun. In Oaxaca, for example, in that Agia Sofia Park, they will have like a week with us, being part of this event, because the bus accommodate 15 people. We are 12, and mostly they be able to come and mostly join us and go everywhere we go and degustate all the food, the extraordinary food delivered. And the restaurants are all 5 stars, 4 stars restaurant. When I'm taking them, it is like a boutique cuisine, and the flavors, so many ingredients, like a spectacular, and the aroma of all these spices and it's just really fantastic. This is not a commercial book. First of all, we are not commercial.
Right.
We are a cultural event.
Right.
So the thing is, any help that may have in the budget would be amazing. But we're not selling spots, let's say.
Right.
See? It's a difference when you are categorized to be a commercial situation.
Right.
Right now, what we're trying to do to accomplish it is show the phenomenon of the Mexican culture.
So, Claude, that's great. That's really good. It gives an idea of the scope of the project. It's a very exciting project. I think people, especially if they have an affinity to Mexico, if they are from Mexico, if they want to support Mexico and getting the word out in a visual format about the beauty of Mexico and the scope of Mexico beyond the negative press that Mexico sometimes gets, or beyond just being a tourist resort, then this is a great project to get behind. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best with the beauty of Mexico.
Yes, sir. We need it all. And believe me, just getting so excited. Thank you very much.
Tell me, we'll be in touch.
All right.
Bye now. To reach Claude, go to claudeduke.com, click More, and then Contact Us.